There is love. Here we are. May the best version of ourselves come forth in this moment in time so we can reach the most people. Deep breath in, everyone. And remember what? Peace begins with me. Inhale, Ananda. Welcome to the Green Nurse Podcast, where we bring hope and inspiration for growth and healing. We are so happy to be here and happy to bring you some love this morning, Monday morning. And let's start off with one of our favorite handy dandy videos so we can gather the troops in for this morning's show.
Yeah.
We changed the paradigm of healthcare.
The Green Nurse is a holistic cannabis nurse that teaches on the endocannabinoid system and the safe utilization of cannabis and other progressive tools to help people reach a better quality of life.
I'm the founder of Holistic Caring. We're based here in California, and we do educational programs and case management for patients on how to use cannabis therapeutically as a medicine.
We're also here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high, hence the H for hope, I for inspiration, G for growth, and H for healing.
As the founder of Holistic Caring, I basically oversee the whole ship, and what we're doing is progressive education.
Cannabis actually supports all 11 organ systems, our immune system, and all the neurotransmitter signaling systems that give messages to tell our body to either do something or not do something. Because the plant was prohibited, it prevented health professionals, doctors and nurses from learning about cannabis as medicine.
I want to change the paradigm of healthcare and us paving the way into a new vanguard of medicine. And I'm excited to really bring this into light. There's a company called Canum that we're merging with, and we will now be doing global education.
It's about education, it's about empowerment, it's about teaching people how to feel good, bridging the gap from what they're not getting from traditional medicine, utilizing different plant medicines, adaptogens, tips, tricks, hugs, and nugs of information to support and nourish the most important system in our body.
And it's a lot of soul work, a lot of love, a lot of discipline, and meditation. I'm using my life work as a testimony to others to learn how they can be their own hero and then go help heal the world.
And we are, as nurses, the game changers.
There we go. Growing in health, growing in cannabis. Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine. It is Denise Costello and Green Nurse Sherri time.
Yay.
Denise, how are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. Coming off of the high of family gatherings and Thanksgiving and just all of that goodness, right?
Yeah, all of that goodness. Well, I've been following you for a long time. I'm so excited that you're part of the Green Nurse platform. You have Energized Living Green Nurse retreats. So for the new people that are out there, let's give you a warm introduction. I want to show the website and where people can find you. Would you just say hello to everyone, let them know who you are and all the amazing things you're doing in the community?
Well, thank you for that beautiful welcoming. And oh goodness, here we go. We're on the Holistic Care Net website. I love being part of Holistic Care, just to say that. I've been in nursing for over 30 years, bridging the traditional and bringing in more of the holistic components to this, because sometimes those aren't the areas that we tap into. And in my opinion, that's a very, very important part, of our healing, because our lifestyle, and we talk about energized living, it's really creating lifestyle medicine, right? How we heal ourselves, how we manage our happiness and health and environment, through these different practices in our lifestyle, right? How you live will dictate whether you are healthy, or sick. what direction you take. And I like to lean on, I focus on really three main pillars in my lifestyle, that's incorporated in there. And the first pillar is prayer. And when I speak of prayer, I'm speaking of meditation, dropping in, connecting to that energy, that energetic being within you, that energy around us, the spirit, the universe, whatever you call it. But it's so powerful, and it is so important for us to tap into that, because that's part of our knowing. That's how we know and understand what we need, and that connection, and then how we get it. And we see our support all around us. The second P is protection. And that has to do with keeping the toxic things out of our life, whether mentally, toxic thoughts, and those energies, we want to get that out. Keeping the toxic things out of our environment, in the air we breathe, and the water that we drink. And then how we add in nourishment, like high energy, high vibe energy, like what we eat, how we move, music, all of those different vibrations in with all of us. And cannabis, plant medicine, how we bring that in, how we integrate that into our system, nourishing our endocannabinoid system, our most beautiful system in our body. And then the third P is play, which play is like how to engage in life and be open and looking at different things, and how to be light about it, playful, like, oh, that didn't work. That's okay. Let's move on to something else. It's a learning. It's being open and not being closed, right? And joyful, finding your joy, moving in your joy, because we all do better when we're having fun, right?
Totally.
Right? And we can find that in anything that we do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So good stuff, Denise. I really, really love how you've opened up my eyes to energized living and the three Ps, and how important they've become in my daily practice, because, what we're doing here as nurses, the cannabis nurses and plant medicine nurses, is that we're in our homes doing a lot of work, behind the computer, in front of Zoom, doing podcasts, doing webinars, speaking. We are going out into the community, but it's wintertime now. So it's really, really nice, when you have those work jams, you have those little tips and tricks of things that you can do throughout the day that foster those three Ps: prayer, protection, and play. And incorporating them all into your day truly does enhance your life, for sure. So one of the things that we talk about is the prayer, the positivity, getting into a space of looking at things from a different perspective. So in the morning, we like to do a little bit of affirmations. We like to pull cards. We like to look at little memes. And so I found one that I want to share with you all. Share screen. And we're going to talk a little bit about it. So I found this. I want to give a big, big shout out to Jamie Rollins, Carol Rollins, and Eileen Rollins. The Rollinses in Connecticut. And so I spent the weekend with them over the holidays, and I saw this amazing sign. It was like a beautiful thing that was hanging up in Jamie's home. Her mother had it there, and I just looked at it and I was like, wow, let's just really think about, what does this mean, and how can this tie into cannabis? How can this tie into plant medicine? So live by faith, grow in grace, walk in love. So if you think about, what is faith? Faith to me is the belief in the unseen order of things. So my prayer for that is, thank you, cannabis, for growing like a weed. I have unwavering faith in your ability to heal the world. And then we have grace. Grace is to honor the full experience of life. Thank you, cannabis, for allowing me to experience my five senses and to embody the plant for ongoing health and wellness, so I may teach others. Thank you, plant medicine, for bringing grace to the world. And then love. I'm just going to go right into what love is for me. Thank you, cannabis, for showing me how to live a life of love, utilizing the wisdom of plant medicine to guide me to a wholesome life. And then imaginations. When you think about imagination, and all of these things, imagination, and I'm tying in imagination because it really has to do with what we're doing as cannabis nurses, what propelled so many of us to enter into this space. Imagination is where we go to remember In order to move our culture forward, revolutionaries, visionaries have to speak and plan from the unseen order inside of them. So the faith, the unseen order, the divine orchestration of the universe. And this is where I truly feel that cannabis does bring that hope, does bring that inspiration, does bring growth and healing to people that start to work with it. What do you think about that, Denise? Faith.
I,
Oh, you are a woman of faith.
I love that. I love it all, and I love that, the first, the first thing they're talking about is faith, because that's where it begins, right?
Yeah.
And developing a spiritual practice. We know that in order for us to, sustain good habits, having a good habit kind of gets a negative word connotation, but truly it needs to be something on a daily basis. This isn't like a one and done, oh, I can sit for a meditation, and really, what does prayer mean, to you? Thinking about that, what does that mean? It's, it's a conversation, it's a time spent, with yourself and communication with spirit. And however you do that, whether it's through meditating or maybe listening to music and dancing out, your thoughts and your feelings and what's going on with you. But the bottom line is, it's just that taking time every day to go in, to go in. And that's how that faith gets cultivated. That's how that grace. And cannabis is wonderful. That is something different that I have added into my prayer practice, whether it's CBD or a little Delta 8, or maybe a little hit of THC if I really want to dive in deep, and maybe do some journaling, after my prayer practice. Because when we are in that moment, and we're in our very quiet, vulnerable self, and we can have this dialogue. It's a dialogue, but it also requires listening.
Exactly.
It's listening and noticing those answers.
Yes.
And I promise you, if you get into a daily practice, just if it's 5 minutes, like waking up in the morning, putting your hand on your heart with our little mantra, peace begins with me, anything.
Yeah. It's
Try
great.
that every day. I mean, seriously, it'll change your life.
So we're going to get a little bit more into, because Denise, you're going to talk a little bit more about like how praying and utilizing these positivity and these tools is almost like going to the gym. But here's the thing. Why are we doing this as nurses? Why are we showing up here every day? Why are we talking about this? Why are we talking about prayer? Why are we talking about positivity? Why are we bringing in woo-woo? Why? Well, because I'll tell you what, the Journal of Nursing Regulation, the National Council State Boards of Nursing, put out a call to action in 2018. And in case you don't know, the National Council State Boards of Nursing puts out the nursing NCLEX exam for all nurses to determine if a nurse can obtain licensure in the particular state that they live in. So they put out a 64-page document in the Journal of Nursing Regulation, and they pretty much stated that all nurses must have 6 essential areas of clinical knowledge when it comes to cannabis as medicine. And we've recovered all of these throughout the weeks, actually, for the past year. But the one that's really important that stands out to us as nurses, and why we focus on this every Monday, is because the 6th National Council State Boards of Nursing states the following: the nurse shall approach the patient without judgment regarding a patient's choice of treatment or preferences in managing pain or other distressing symptoms. So the nurse shall approach the patient without judgment. Okay, really, really important for us to think about that. Spirituality is the root of cannabis care. So what we're doing is we're bringing in the spirit of plant medicine to our patients and educating them on all the various ways that it can help decrease suffering and improve quality of life. So when we think about it, healing, bio, psycho, social, spiritual, right? In the conventional system, what do? We focus on body parts, symptoms, disease processes, pharmaceuticals. If we're lucky, we get to mental, emotional health, and usually we don't unless there's a crisis. Rarely do we ever get to spiritual health unless someone is dying. So what we're trying to do is change that paradigm. We're changing how we approach and take care of patients. Patient empowerment is where it's at. The future of healthcare is patient empowerment. And us as cannabis nurses are here to hold your hand until you're ready to let go. And so this is how this ties into energized living. This is how it ties into the 3 P's of energized living, because it is all about the whole. Just like the cannabis plant, the whole of the plant is greater than its individual parts, just as biopsychosocial spiritual healing is essential for us living an energized life, for living our best life. So I really, I love to bring that up because, well, it's interesting because, we hear people, I've heard some doctors in the community say that y'all are a little too woo and you're concerned. I'm like, I'm not concerned. I'm following the wisdom of the plant. I'm marrying. It's high science, if you think about it.
Yeah.
High science, hope, inspiration, growth, and healing, plant medicine, bringing it together, bridging the gap with conventional, right? Together, community, together strong, just like the whole of the plant is greater than its individual parts. The whole of how we take care of ourselves and our patients is greater than its individual parts. So we need to be looking at the whole thing. That's why I talk about my handy
little umbrella. Yeah.
little umbrella, right? We got to take care of the entire umbrella.
Yeah.
We are that umbrella.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Listen,
good
when you
stuff.
talk about judgment, judgment is, lack of judgment is compassion. And that's really, where if you are getting in deep, coming into your center in the spirit and looking at somebody from a spiritual way, that's compassion,
It's compassion.
and you can step into meet them where they're at,
Yes.
and definitely the plant helps you do that.
Yes. And so, Gene Watson. So it's interesting too. I love to bring in nursing theory because nursing theory is really, really important for academia nurses. And, how cannabis nursing, what nursing theory would it most encompass? And the one that I feel, and I learned about this from Dr. Carrie Clark, who wrote Clark's Cannabis, the Handbook for Nurses, which the Green Nurses wrote chapter 9 in. And so she talks about Gene Watson's theory on human caring, which incorporates 3 other theories: humanistic psychology, Eastern philosophy, and transpersonal psychology. And so Gene Watson, what she says about the human caring theory and transpersonal nursing is she describes the transpersonal nurse as one that has the ability to center consciousness and intention on caring, healing, and wholeness, rather than on disease, illness, and pathology. It focuses on helping patients achieve a more complete sense of harmony within the mind, body, and spirit using caring interactions. So these caring interactions, how do we do that? How do we reach those levels of caring? Is we have to experience it ourselves. You need to embody the healing that you're teaching to patients. And so we cover the 6 essential areas of knowledge. The nurse shall not approach the judgment. Spirituality is the root of cannabis care, which leads us back to Denise and why it is so important for us to develop a practice. Just think they're practicing medicine, we're practicing nurses, we're practicing prayer. It's a practice, just like when you go to the gym. So Denise, I love how you put this together. So let's dig in to how we can do this. How do we pray? How do we set up a prayer?
How do we pray? Some people were never even taught to pray. And so I love focusing on this, and it doesn't have to be complicated. This is like a wonderful, like tool, that you have. And you can think of it as, I love this little acronym I heard from a priest using PAL, it's your PAL. When you're connecting to spirit, you're connecting to God, you're connecting to universe, or, that your own, connect your own spirituality. It's like your friend, who's there for you. It's your pal that has your back. Right. So the first P in that, so how do I pray? Like, how do I even start this, right? So we just start with praise. like gratitude. Thank you. Thank you, dear Lord. Thank you, dear universe, for all that you have given me. Just thinking about the things that you are grateful for. We've heard a lot about gratitude, and we talked a lot about appreciation. Last week, we talked about that. So what do I appreciate in myself?
Right.
What do I appreciate in my body? What do I
Yeah.
appreciate in my mind? Like just really getting down to the nitty gritty. And then asking, when we think of prayer, sometimes we're just thinking of talking and asking. Well, there is an asking component. It's an awareness of what do we need? Like our life is messy. It's okay.
Right.
The universe doesn't care. God doesn't care. Like lay it out. What do you
Right.
need? Right.
Right.
And then the most important part, the L, is listen.
Pal. Praise,
Pal,
ask,
pal,
listen.
listen. Be your pal. This is your pal to get you through the day.
Yeah.
And listening is such an important act. Just to be aware. Now, listening and just noticing through your day, noticing like something going your way, and like, oh my gosh, thank you for that little mini miracle. That
Right.
is God showing me. We talk about you're noticing numbers like 11, 11, 11. That's an
Yes.
indicating. All of our visuals. So we're using all of our senses, right?
Yes.
Think of all 5 of your senses and how you can tap in, to all these awarenesses through your day. It's like a game. Have fun with it,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I love that. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. So, we
Do we
can
have a little practice today that we're
we
gonna
do. I was gonna say, let's just do this instead of like talking about it.
let's
Let's
just do it.
experience it.
Action. So we have some people out in the audience there. Brian, good morning. And then there is Radaliko Talati. Welcome, Radaliko. Yes, we did say cannabis care. We are cannabis nurses. Yes, the wisdom of plant medicine. We are talking about medical cannabis. We're talking about cannabis, period. And bottom line, well, so we talked about marijuana. Yes, marijuana is the slang name. The scientific name is cannabis. So that's how we like to refer it. And, welcome to the show. If this is your first time joining us, please say hello. Let us know that you're here and let us know where you're from and what your relationship is with the plant and how it may have helped you. We want to hear from you. This show is for all of you.
Right.
So, pal, pause, ask, listen. And so now we're going to do a little meditation.
Mhm.
Ready for you, Denise.
Right. Okay, let's just begin with bringing our shoulders up to our ears and then rolling them back and exhaling as you're doing that. And when you're doing that, you're like think of your heart being open to receive, this beautiful moment, this beautiful time that we're spending together. Okay, taking your deep breath in and exhale. And let's put our hand on our heart. And you can repeat. This is one of the mantras that I use to help me bring me present into the moment. Ever present God, here with me now. Help me to be here with you. And may I remember that peace begins with me. And you can lay your hands gently on your lap or whatever's comfortable. We're going to breathe in to a count of 4, and we're going to exhale to a count of 8. And I'm going to lead you through this, and we're just going to repeat this cycle for about a minute or 2. And by doing this, this helps us to center in and focus on our breath. And just focusing on the numbers helps you to get out of your mind and turning inward. We're turning inward for our answers. Inhaling, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling, and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. your breath. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue with that pattern. It's returning inward.
So deep breath in for 4.
Exhale.
Exhale for 8.
8. We're giving permission to have faith in a higher power. Inhaling 3, 2, 1. And exhaling 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Giving yourself permission to let go. Inhaling, giving yourself permission to believe that the universe is guiding you every step of the way. Trusting that the more you turn over, the more you surrender, the more you believe, the more that God, Spirit has your back. As we breathe in, our count of 4. We're exhaling to a count of 8. This is an opportunity for you to really feel that spirit within you, that energy. To not just think it, to not just read it, but to feel it. To know it. And it is in that knowing that is your path to peace. That knowing is a path to freedom and serenity. Full-bodied relaxation, exhaling. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 8. And as we close our meditation, we can continue to turn inward into your answers throughout the day, every day, and know that you are supported. So go out and look and listen for the signs. And remembering, peace begins with me.
That was beautiful.
Okay.
Yes.
There we
So
go.
I have a sign. I have a great sign for everyone. You ready for the sign?
Yeah, lay it on me.
Oh, it's another sign.
It's a sign. I love this sign.
Isn't this a
The
great
China
sign? So,
sun.
so this is great. So, Elizabeth Mack, who's the CEO and founder of Holistic Caring, has created these programs for patients and providers all across the globe. And so she's having a sale, 50% off all programs for providers and for patients. There's the CBD health and wellness coaching program, the licensing program, the industry professional program. There are programs that are disease targeted, cannabis and cancer, cannabis and autism, epilepsy, migraines, autoimmune, chronic pain, et cetera, et cetera. We just launched a new program, Cannabis Wellness for Moms. So all of these programs are on sale, 50% off at Holistic Caring Network. Really, really excited that she's offering these to people because, it's the programs are encompass multiple ways of learning. So there is video learning, there is handouts, it's a webinar. So it's really self-paced, lots of questions, research, targeting, go down the history, the research, the endocannabinoid system, the disease process, and how cannabis can help mitigate side effects of traditional pharmaceuticals, how cannabis can bridge the gap from the conventional system from what it's not getting, and then specific protocols that research is starting to come out in how to take care of these different conditions. So really, really
fabulous. It
yeah.
really is fabulous because you think, as you mentioned earlier, Sherri, about, we are taking on our care ourselves. And here it is. You have fabulous programs that are going to help you do that. Give you the information in a community of all kinds of professionals that's going to guide you, on this, because it's confusing out there. There's so much information.
Yeah.
And you can trust this is very good because
you can trust us. And you know what I'm going to do?
Nurses.
Trust the nurses.
And we're going to do it real. We're not going to overburden you with information. It's really laid out beautifully. I've looked at them. They're fabulous. Really good programs.
So here you can go. Here's how you join the community. So the community is absolutely free for people to join. You come to our website. The Green Nurses are at Holistic Caring Network, Cannabis Medicine Simplified, bringing you hope and inspiration for growth and healing. So right here, handy dandy button, join our network here. Click that. If I click it, it's going to open right up to the network. And this is what's so cool. So we have a private network. All of our members are here. This is all about, there's topics, which I really love. We have industry focus, describe yourself, history, roadblocks, research, the podcast, progressive therapies. There's Denise, energized living, books. We have a book club. So this is a really, really great free community for you all to come and join. Free patient portal. All of the programs that are available are right here. And, we are really, really excited to be able to invite you all to come join with us in the community. It's a great space. And we hope to see you there. I was really, really thrilled. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. And how great is it that we were able to merge with Holistic Caring to bring all of our wishes to come true. The other thing that's really interesting that was just formed, and we're going to do a show on this. Elizabeth just created a nonprofit, and the part that I really love about the nonprofit, we haven't launched that page yet, but the nonprofit is going to support patients 100%. So the nonprofit has been set up. So all donations that come in, anything that comes in from our Green Nurse approved program, any of our affiliates, we are contributing to this nonprofit to pay nurses to do 24/7 telehealth, answering a cannabis hotline. So this is what's going to be great. The Holistic Caring Cannabis Hotline, staffed by the Green Nurses, funded by people in the community, funded by the nonprofit, which is going to be really exciting.
That's awesome. That's really super great.
Yeah, because people have questions. So here's the thing: the first thing to do is to get into the community, and we get into the community. We're going to start to foster, because here as cannabis nurses, what do we do? Well, first of all, we're medical patients as well. So we source out what patients want and need, and we bring it to you. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you make choices that are best for you.
Because let's face it, this is a new way of healing, and we
It is a
understand
new way.
that, and we want to make it easy for you. And we're sharing you through our own experiences because we're going through this as well. As Sherri said, we are the patients, and so you have a family member who gets cancer. You're like, where do I begin? It's so overwhelming. This is a place to come. You get information and support, and you're able to know the questions you can talk to your doctor about. We're there to help you with all of this, right?
We truly are. So join us in the community. We would be really happy to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us on this Manifesting Monday, Mindful Monday, Meditation Monday. We want you all to start your day off in the most amazing way, because guess what? We all deserve to feel good. And it truly is all about living your best life and helping others do the same. Thank you for tuning in with us, and we'll see you all next week. Sorry, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh, can I see? I forgot.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Programs coming up. If you want to do more prayer life, right? Or learn to cultivate prayer. I have an Advent. It's the 4 weeks leading up to Christmas, Sundays at 9 a.m. And also, I love to cook and be in the kitchen. So I've got a holiday kitchen program on December 9th. You can sign up for that. I'm going to show you how to make my lovely chia jam, raspberry jam. And if you want to learn how to infuse that with either CBD or cannabis, I'll show you how to do that too. So
and so just so you know too, for the people that are watching, if you look in the comment section, I shared the link to the Energized Living Advent stretch and prayer sessions for Sundays. And I also sent the link to her cooking Thursday, December 9th at 12 p.m. Energized Living Kitchen High Vibe Holiday Cooking with Denise. Yeah. And so those links are right there. You can join in. Awesome, Denise. Thank you so much for everything that you do for patients and providers. Really so happy to have you part of it.
Thank you for having me here. I love it.
All right, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.